All right, then. I'm Scott.
I'm David.
And we are D-Tox.
Today with us, we got sound guy, sound engineer, commando-in-chief,
Colton. Commando. There is some context to that joke, by the way.
Yes, you have to watch our previous episode
Yeah.
to figure out why.
It's pretty awesome. It's the Commando sound engineer. You will forever be known as that. Do you know that?
I think I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'll get
I
a
like-
Twitter
That's
going.
a worthy... Yeah,
I
that's
like
a worthy-
commando-in-chief.
Commando in chief. That's pretty good. And I know I say this all the time, but I'm super thankful for our sound engineer. Like, he is the bomb.com.
The reason our beautiful voices are heard
Yes.
is because of him.
You cannot see in our studio, but I flail. Like, my arms. Is flail even a word?
That is a word.
I flail, like, my arms, and
Hey.
I jump out of my chair when I get passionate, and for some odd reason, this mic follows me.
And I motion all the time.
Yeah.
It's just how I talk.
And,
Hopefully you can't hear those, and if you can, it's those clear, crisp mics.
yeah, Colton, the Commando-in-Chief, rolls with the punches, which is good, so...
All right, and speaking of technology, that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about today.
Oh, man, we are. I love technology.
And
Whenever I hear someone say that, I love technology, my mind always goes back to Napoleon Dynamite. I think there's a song that one of the characters sings about technology. No?
In
Nothing?
Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah.
I don't really like that movie.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry.
I love technology, and not as much as you see. I think... Hold on. Who sings it? Hold on, let me look it up. It's at the end. It's called LaFonda's song.
I don't
Come
think
on.
I've actually made it to the end of Napoleon Dynamite.
It's Kip's wedding, all right?
Kip gets married?
He's the only person I like in that whole movie. Is Kip.
Kip and LaFonda get married,
Are you
dog.
freaking kidding?
Yeah.
What? My mind just got destroyed.
Anyways, sorry to derail our whole podcast, but technology,
Oh,
I
probably
love
good.
it. I love it because I can look up random things like that, and the internet tells me the truth,
On the fly while
Yeah.
we're even here.
right? How many times a day do you actually do that?
I mean, if you count Google,
Right.
a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Every 2 seconds, I'm like
Or
pulling out my
Spotify.
phone.
I'm always, even when I write stuff, like I jam out to music. I need to. I don't know what it is. It stops me from writing one word and thinking, this word connects to something else, and I immediately, my brain is off topic.
Yeah.
The music keeps me going, keeps me flowing, and you need technology for that. I'm not gonna hire a
Maybe we
band.
should start this discussion with our favorite technology, or our favorite, I don't know,
Favorite use of it?
favorite use of technology. There you go. Yeah.
What's yours? If you want.
Oh, I was hoping you'd answer first, so I'd have time to think, because I
Fine,
just thought
fine.
of a
I'll
question.
give you time.
All right.
So kind of two-part. Music is a huge part. I don't know how people in the medieval times did it
Yeah.
without headphones.
Hmm.
I just don't know, man. That's rough. I mean, they did it with the Black Death and things like that, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they did it without music, just
Yeah.
regular. And another big part is just entertainment I really enjoy video games. If you're wondering what type of games I play, I'm not a PC elitist.
Okay.
I'm not a
PC.
I'm not a
elitist.
console slob. I play both.
Wow.
Yes.
You've just.
I'll play Age of
alienated.
Empires, and then later that day I'll play Smash Bros, and then later I might play God of War. It's all
You never know.
it's all, as long as it's a good game. And a huge part of it is it for me it's a form of kind of relief. Like if you have a stressful day, it feels good to solve a puzzle. It just, or to kick someone's butt in Smash Bros. That just feels good.
Yeah, it does.
So those are my kind of cheating. It's not one, but it's a two-part.
Yeah, I would say my favorite use of technology, and you made me think about this when you said stressful day, Netflix.
Yeah.
Man, you can pull up anything. I love Netflix. I like movies. It's just
That's why you have a kid, right? No, just
relax. It's just relax. It's just relaxing after a long day's worth of work. You can just kick your feet up and watch whatever you want at the click of a finger. Like,
no ads.
No ads.
Talk about bad part of technology is ads.
Ugh. I would suggest that there are much worse parts of technology.
I know, but I'm just saying that's pretty bad, though.
That is one of the inconveniences of this life.
How about you?
Yeah, Colton.
Y'all are using my favorite pieces of technology. Just this whole
So you're just
room
gonna-
right now.
Oh, yeah.
My mics, my computer, my audio interface, all of it.
You love it.
I love it.
So
I
you
don't know what I would do without it.
You love that this stuff is being put to use.
Yes, finally.
I know what we wouldn't do without it.
We wouldn't
This.
podcast. Right. We wouldn't be talking about technology.
On technology.
What part of technology do you think we can't live without, or you wish didn't exist? The biggest hindrance to the world.
I feel like that's a two-part.
Okay.
The one I think we can't live without is Google Maps. And something, or even maps in general, whether it's Google Waze, I think it's called, whatever
Which
you
I
use,
started
just
using
maps.
that recently. Yeah.
Something we've talked about before is how it's mind-blowing to me, but you got archaeologists they have a degree in reading maps. Majority of them can't function without the technology behind it,
For sure.
which is crazy. You go to school to read this map, find what you need to find, do your study on this area, and you can't read the paper that it's on. You have to use longitude and latitude and everything like that on your device to be able to read exactly where you're going, how it's doing. And if that for some reason were to shut off, you have a huge potential being stranded. I mean, I know I would be, but I didn't go to school for it.
Right.
So I find that nuts. And then what was that other part, just to make sure? Like, what was the negative side of it?
Yeah, negative. I guess I was more getting at the negative side of it. What do you think didn't exist? Yeah, why?
I think like
Broader question: why is technology bad?
I think social media.
Yeah.
The good part is it brings us together, and we kind of touched on this a little bit before. Is just with politics, with your kid in the back seat,
Yeah.
with your pets, whatever it is. If you take a picture of it and one thing's off in someone's eye, boom,
You're gonna get
you're
roasted.
gonna get flooded.
Yeah.
And some people, speaking of roasted, some people ask for that. They'll
Oh,
take a picture of
for
themselves and say, roast me.
Which
Don't
I
do
don't
that.
know if this was a joke or not, but the other day I'm on Facebook Marketplace and someone posted an item for sale, and the picture they posted was not the item, it was their social media card or their social security card.
Really?
I'm dead serious. Like, you're just asking for trouble, you know? Like, that was just nuts. But anyway,
What about you? What's one part that you don't think we could do without, and then one part that you think is just in general bad? And we can dive into more of the bad.
I don't know. I think you're right. I think people couldn't survive without their maps. Like, I'm pretty good without the map. Like, I have a internal compass, but I just think over time people have grown used to following the navigation of your smartphone, and we can't get anywhere without them. So people would be lost and get nowhere, and that would be not good. So I think that's one thing we can't survive with is the maps. I think you're right. You touched on this a little bit a minute or so ago. Like, with technology, it's almost like we're more connected.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also less connected.
Yep.
Like, it's like a fake surface level connection, and for some reason we want that, but we've replaced our real life human interaction, real connection with this surface level garbage. And I don't know, I wish that didn't exist. That to me is like that's the worst part of technology.
And I see it happening in real time, where, like, just something that we've talked about is how technology brings people far away close, but it separates those who are close and makes them far. I don't know if you've ever seen this or been a part of this or done it, is where you're talking to a friend, you get a text, and that's what you're focused on is who you're messaging from far away.
Yeah.
And you're not even really connecting. You're just surface level connecting, but it hits dopamine in your brain. And you would rather look at that text or finish it
Right.
than talk to the person who's literally right in front of you.
That's sad.
It's everywhere.
No, it is. You're right.
It's not even mind-blowing. It's just a regular part of our life. I used to think it was mind-blowing. Like, that's crazy. Why would someone do it? And then, of course, when texting was a huge thing, I did it.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
I lived like that. And not anymore. So I don't even really have social media much. But it's something that we've noticed.
I don't know, I've toyed around with the idea of getting rid of all of my social media just because I think it's useless. There are pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm conflicted. Like, I like the idea of sort of keeping up with people I wouldn't normally keep up with. I like the idea of I don't know, there's opportunity on social media, like I hate to call it line of work, but, in the field that I'm in, like, I want to reach people, and that's my passion. So there are people on social media. So that's kind of a platform I can use to reach people.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that's the benefit to staying on social media, but at the same time, it's surface level, it's fake, it's garbage. Instagram does not reflect real life at all.
Nope.
And I don't know, do the pros outweigh the cons or vice versa? I'm not sure, and I haven't really come up with a good answer to that.
I feel like that goal of reaching people and getting people to come is good if the goal is to get them to see them in person.
And that is, for sure, yeah.
But there are some who say that that's the goal, and then all they do is keep reaching online. And that's, it's like, yeah, come here, and then the doors are never open.
Yeah.
Or it's, I don't know how many texts I've gotten from friends, hey, let's hang out, hey, let's do this. There's a certain tone to it where we're not going to see each other. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Especially if you run into someone that you haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, we should chill. And then you text next week, hey, when do you want to hang out? I'm busy.
Yeah. Technology has opened, like, to be clear, it has opened up the door and made the world a bigger place.
It has.
Or a smaller place.
Or both. I think that. Both.
Like, you can meet your spouse online. And I know people who have had long marriages who met online. And that's awesome. They would never have met if it wasn't for technology.
I mean, you could even make friends through a game. There are people who've gotten married through World of Warcraft.
That's something else.
Like, that's a thing that's happened. Yeah. They would have never met each other, shared that life, if it wasn't for that game. I think that's nuts. So I don't see that as awful. I see that as very good. That kind of connection, if it's brought into the real world from either Instagram, whatever dating site, I see that as good. But there's still a negative caveat.
Yeah.
Like, huge.
For sure. Like you were saying, we pay more attention to this this world on our smartphones than we do real life, and like, technology can be used for evil. Like, the dark web exists, people, and that is just a bad place.
And outside of kind of that topic specifically, but more with just how you kind of touched on how technology it's more fake.
Yeah.
Or what's on Instagram.
Yeah.
I brought this up before, but I've had friends, and one specifically where had a great trip, or I thought had a great trip in California.
Okay.
It was kind of whatever. The pictures looked awesome.
Scrolling through the Instagram pictures.
Scrolling through it, I looked there and I'm like, I wish I was there. I wish I joined him.
A ball. Yeah.
Talked to him, miserable. The plans didn't go through. The funding wasn't there. people who were supposed to pay their part didn't.
Oh man.
And like we talked about, like I talked to him about that situation. I don't want to put him on blast or anything. It's not what I'm about. It was more just seeing that and being like, hey man, like why'd you do that? He's like, well, I really wanted to show that I enjoyed it. It's like, but you didn't. And how many, and I've had those moments, like just me, honestly, I can't tell you how many family photos I've been a part of where it looks like we're just having a great time. Like, yeah, we're just getting together as a family. Worst reunions ever.
Oh no.
Everyone is either asking weird things.
So I don't know.
Arguing, and then they just smile for the picture and then go back to arguing.
Yeah. So
then they post it.
So you're not on social media. You are or you aren't?
Very rarely. I don't really post. Every once in a while I'll check in and be like, yeah, that's why I'm not.
So
just as a reminder.
One thing I have noticed is that like people are aware that Instagram isn't real life.
Yeah.
You know? And one thing I've noticed is like this push to post pictures that are a little more real. You know, so for example, like every once in a while on my news feed, I'll see a picture of a messy house and, you know, hashtag real life, you know, this is real life. I don't know, but like that might just be a category of its own. Cause is that actually real life or is that you just, you know
what if everything was clean and then they're like, I'm just going to mess this up for the photo. Like
Right.
It goes both ways.
I don't know.
I want to show everyone I'm genuine.
Right.
I don't do my bed. Snap.
Oh boy.
I think it's even funnier when you see how, like, the extent people will go to. Have you seen those people taking selfies in their bed of them sleeping, but they'll have their glasses on or something, and you see the reflection of their hand?
No.
They'll be like, yeah, my babe took this picture of me and caught me sleeping. Like, that's a thing that happens.
Oh boy.
Or same thing has happened with, like, holding hands. Like, people go to extents to look like they're either dating someone. People will Photoshop themselves in cars.
That is ridiculous. My favorite, and I don't even know where I saw this, but there's this guy that you pay him like $5 and he'll Photoshop a picture, but he always does it the wrong way. That's funny.
Or he'll be like, yeah, make me more excited, and he'll like take their eyebrows away or something like that.
That's awesome. I mean, memes exist, and I love memes. I love the good meme, you know, and that I'm thankful for technology for that, because that wouldn't exist without it. I don't know, technology can be good or bad, and is it mostly good or mostly bad?
I feel like it's mostly bad. I feel like, and that could be me being a pessimist. I do see the really, really good things from it. Like we've already talked about maps. I think reconnecting with friends that you haven't seen in a long time is great.
Yeah.
They render college or high school reunions useless because you can keep up with people.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it's good. I think there was a situation last week where my phone did not turn on. It just didn't turn on. So I got on the computer.
Calling to work, you're done for.
Message Rachel. I messaged my wife through Facebook,
yeah,
letting her know, hey, if you try to text me, I wasn't ignoring you.
Right.
My phone just won't turn on.
Yeah.
And I was able to reconnect through Facebook as another means.
Okay.
On my computer. And I just found that, you know, if that happened later on, and she was at the auto shop, so I, you know, in case she needed me to drive and pick her up,
sure,
I could have been there because I had Facebook, I had it ready to go, and I just thought that
you don't even know how to get there. You're in trouble.
I do though.
I'm teasing.
But yeah, basically, I mean, it's if it wasn't two highways and a straight shot, yeah, I might have not known how to get there.
Yeah.
But like having that benefit was great.
Yeah.
However, I just see. It's kind of. Have you ever played Majora's Mask?
Yes, I have.
You know that looming.
Ever.
That there's a big moon with a face on it that's just coming to destroy everything.
Oof.
That's how I see technology. Like, yeah, it can be great, like cool to look at from far away, but the closer it gets, the closer it knits us, the more dangerous you see things.
I think that's called Skynet, right?
Yeah, it's a Terminator.
Yeah.
But no, I see, you know, things as terrible as trafficking. Technology has advanced that like never before.
Right.
And that includes people, drugs, whatever it is.
Yes.
Scams. You
are
know,
huge.
It went from getting, you know, a call that's a scam to Word documents now have what is it called, like editing capabilities and different processing that you can do on Word documents. So you can get a virus through someone sending you a Word document.
Right.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
You know, Social Security getting stolen is a lot more common.
Yes.
You have, you know, horrible things with pornography that can just grow. You have a lot of those kind of deep, dark things that are just expanding like they've never had before because of technology.
Ransomware attacks that'll encrypt files of entire cities and government agencies, and
even
you can't even track this stuff. It's like it's crazy.
Speaking of government, that's another thing. Like, I mean, I don't think they always care, but I think that a lot of them are listening.
What they have the capability to.
Or or even if they're not, like, I don't think I'm important enough, so it doesn't matter. But for those people who are, you know, that, oh man, that's why you won't see me with an Alexa. No, that's not why you won't. I just don't like a little piece of hardware controlling my lights and different things like that. There you go. That just creeps me out.
Yeah.
Have you seen iRobot?
Oh yeah,
I feel like Will Smith is like,
Nah.
Nope.
Or like that old movie Smart House. It's
never seen it. No.
Never even heard of it.
Y'all need a childhood.
Oh no.
Somebody's gonna Google it. They'll watch it.
They'll watch Smart House. If they do, they should comment. They should let us know what they think.
Absolutely.
If you've seen Smart House, what do you think of it? How bad is it?
It's pretty bad.
What happens in the movie?
It's like this family, and I can't remember all the details super well, but it's like this family. They have this house that is like super advanced, and eventually by the end of the movie, like this, I'm not gonna spoil it, but this house becomes like it imprisons them and like makes them do things, and it's like becomes a little creepy, and then like it's a hologram. It's all cool. It's cool.
Spooky house.
That's spooky, but it's like 90s, like a 90s PG scary.
All right.
So it's not.
But like that's kind of the world we're living in. Like I think Amazon sells locks for your front door so that they can deliver packages inside your house.
Yep.
Like,
and it comes with a camera setup and everything.
Insane.
So that way you can see yourself getting robbed. You know, it's great.
Right. Yeah. Oh boy.
Have you? What about you though? Do you think
overall good or overall bad?
And of course, and I'm not saying, you know, that you don't think there's bad parts. You don't think, just overall.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you. Probably bad. I guess the bad outweighs the good.
Yeah.
That's probably the.
I mean, Nickelback is the thing. What has technology done?
But then we have the little video on YouTube. You know, look at this graph instead of the photograph.
I love that.
Yeah, the meme part of it is amazing.
Right.
That's memes.
But is it technology that's bad, or is it the people using the technology that's bad?
It comes down to the people. That's a really good question. I think it's because it's people who created it, and it's them who funnel the ideas behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, okay.
Like that goes almost into AI territory.
And AI is just
I think it's a mess. There's good parts to it, but I mean, when you have, what was that? I don't remember which company where the two AIs created their own language and they had to shut it down.
Yeah, it was just kind of an experiment to see what would happen, I think, and
we found out what would happen.
Was it Google? I think it might have been Google.
Either Google,
I don't
Facebook,
know.
one of somewhere in Silicon.
But they were just chatting with each other, and then the two computers went into like this weird language, and they let it run for a little while, and they shut it down, and come to find out they invented their own language. Ultron.
Ultron's coming.
Oh, yeah. It was Facebook.
It was Facebook. Okay. Yeah, like that's kind of scary.
See, with technology, we were able to look that up. Right? But
like,
yeah,
granted, I read the transcript of what the computers were saying to each other, and I mean, it's not like they were planning on taking over the universe, but
it was all coded.
Ooh. But like, it was kind of freaky. It's just scary to think about that like AI could be that bad. It's bad.
And if we we talked about this before, is just kind of
We talk about a lot.
Off mic more, is just the kind of the deep fakes and how that.
What do you mean by that? I'm not familiar with that term.
It's where it was that thing where I told you where you can take originally it started with a video. I think it was the first example that was used was Obama. It took one of his speeches.
Oh, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, but then the audio was pulled from just to show how advanced it can be. And this was, I think, 3 years ago at this point. So 2016 when that video surfaced. So they took one of his speeches with like a basic background, and they didn't even rip the audio from that. They ripped the audio from early 2000s speeches of his. And they were able to they made up their own speech of what he was saying, just based off that. And what they did is it wasn't an AI that was speaking for him. It was, let's say I'm talking, and it would take my motion, my face. If I move right, it moves. His head moves right. If I speak, it translates to his voice, like a synthesizer type of thing. And that was nuts. That was 3 years ago.
That was crazy.
Last year, I think they did it to Joe Rogan, where they just had an AI listen to his podcast and then create a 1 to 2 minute just of him saying stuff, but it was all the computer generating, and it sounds like all stuff he would say.
Really?
Because it took what he most commonly says, it took his phrases, it took his kind of how he breathes, and it brought that all to life. And I think it was a couple months ago, it's even gone a step further, where they took they have the picture of the Mona Lisa.
Sure.
Someone in front of the camera moving and talking, and this picture now moves and talks. And you'd think, hey, what about the background? The computer generates, like, what it autofills the background. And it used, this one person was, they used him as an example where he had books behind him.
Sure.
And he was moving, and it would autofill books.
That's insane.
And it would just have that as, as something that you can do.
Right.
How scary would different, either political or just different people be if the competition decides, hey, we're going to use this just as slander?
And I started reading, like they said, within a couple of years, it'll be almost impossible to tell, the difference.
It's already really good. And who knows? I think they're just hiding how far it's gotten.
For sure.
Because each step, they want to be like, yeah, we don't want to show this till we're done, because they're getting all the kinks out. But that's terrifying.
So, full disclosure, I am not a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist, but it makes me wonder, what technology does our government have access to that we don't even know about?
I think
lasers.
Speaking of tinfoil, we should do an episode on just conspiracy theories as a whole. I think that'd be
aliens.
Yeah. Speaking of with memes, yeah, it would just be nuts. My view on the government, because I get where conspiracy theories come from. Yeah. Kind of like what we talked about, where you see, kind of the lies, even basic lies on Instagram. Sure. We've talked about lies before on the podcast, how it just, they're ingrained in us. And the next step is filling or taking out that lie and putting something else in its place. And that's where a lot of conspiracy theories come from. Okay, yeah. And we should go deeper one day, but what I want to look at is with the topic of the government, with what are they hiding. Do you remember that blackbird that was found not too long ago? It was when Obama was president. There was a blackbird that was found that was flying around, and it was used as a spy thing, but we didn't find it. Yeah, we didn't find it till recently, and that thing was old. It was 30 something years old, and it was hiding. And I just wonder, what else is done. And have you ever watched Key and Peele? Yeah. So they did a skit, because we had found that, I think it was Obama was listening to, and I say his name, but I know other presidents have done it. Clinton has probably done it. Bush has probably done it, where they literally tracked that. They found out that the government was listening in on a lot of people at home, and they claimed, it was for terrorists, but what they found was they were listening in on everyone else as well. And they did a skit on this, which I found pretty funny, was where they were doing, what are they going to listen to? Are they going to listen to you watching something inappropriate, or are they going to listen to you yelling at your friend, playing video games? Trying to make light of the situation, because it's obviously pretty dark. But I see see people seeing that as a jumping off point, and the government, like, what they had as equipment and tools in the 80s and 90s for spies are toys now.
Yeah.
So you can't imagine where they're going. I also don't think it's as extreme as some people think, where they think
sure.
they have like full-fledged robots that are functioning and can jump, a building high and do all
Right.
these crazy things. I don't think it's that level, but I think we're a handful of years behind. Like I would put it in the sense of, when we first got the smartphone, they probably had that a year or two before.
But it's amazing, like, how fast technology advances. So,
Yeah.
like, a year in the world of tech
Oh, it's huge.
feels like
Yeah.
way more than
Wait,
that.
you buy a brand new $300 to $400 laptop, that laptop's already 2 years behind.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it could be brand new out of the box. You just bought it, just based on the price and what that equipment has, it's already behind.
It's just amazing, like, how much technology has advanced in, like, even the course of my lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, I can
I grew
remember.
up with VHS.
Yeah.
And in one of my car, like, well, I think it was my parents' car, the cassette tape. So I would do the cassette tape that had an aux cord tied to it.
Yes.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was high tech.
Those were awesome.
If you can plug that into your MP3,
Yeah.
you had not iPod, I think it was, yeah. You don't even know the name.
Sony Walkman. I mean, you plug that in
They just
because
had like MP3
Yeah.
players back then. That was just what their MP3.
Well, I had
because, like, if you had a cassette
off-brand.
player, hold on, if you had a cassette player in your car,
Yeah.
chances are you didn't have a CD player,
Yep.
right? So, like, there was that transition from cassettes to CDs, and you plug that bad boy into your Sony Walkman, and you can play any CD you want now in your car. Yeah.
Heck, even the cars that had both. Remember how cool that was? It was kind of like seeing the cassette and DVD, but in your car you had the cassette and CD. You
Yeah.
had that kind of setup where you can do both. You're like, yeah, if you still got your tracks on your cassette, but you also have CDs, you can switch to both.
Man. Seriously, it is crazy, though, how fast technology has advanced. Like, if I think about this. I don't know why this is kind of a random thought, but if I could bring back someone from the past just to see what life is like now, they'd be just shocked.
Heck, even the other way, if you bring someone now to the 90s,
Yeah. Yeah.
man, even driving would just...
I love some of those pictures online. Like, they post something that I can't even think of a good example. They post something that like a piece of technology from like 10 years ago, and like people don't even know what it was. Like, what was that?
Do you remember the Razor phone?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's at museums now. Like, that's at a
What?
Motorola museum. That was my first phone. Granted, 4 of the buttons didn't work, but that was my first phone. Hand me down.
In order to text, you had to hit like the button 3 or 4 times.
Oh man, it was so bad. I think it was my number 9. I had to hit like 6 times to get 3, because I was playing volleyball and I got sand in it.
Oh.
Yeah, irresponsible. Don't play
Okay.
volleyball with your phones.
Nah.
It's just, but yeah, none of the button. Like, I think my up button didn't work. My left button didn't work, so I can go either down. If I wanted to call someone,
Sure.
and I went down to get to their name again, I had to scroll all the way down and have it loop.
Oh no.
It was fun.
Burst.
Technology does make life so much easier, though.
It does.
Like, you can, if you forget to turn your lights off, you just go on your phone and turn the lights off at home. You know, you can, like, just the ease of access. It just makes life easier.
So I have a question with technology, because it's definitely made life better, life easier. Has it made us, as you can look at as not just society but just as people, has it made us kind of improve or regress? Have we kind of
Okay.
taken a step back on human interaction, on empathy? Has that gotten better or worse?
That's a good question. So, obviously there are people behind this technology who are constantly thinking and engineering smaller and faster and more efficient pieces of technology, like the hardware and the software, are getting better and better and better, and people are needed in order to think this stuff up and engineer this. Like I can't build a smartphone, but there are people out there that can and know how to do that. So I think those people are improving. Of course, like you would need to, and they're building upon other people's work in the past. And, but I don't know. I think some people are getting smarter and other people are getting dumber. Like I don't know. There are people these days thinking about sending another man to the moon or people to Mars. Like, that's just crazy to think about. So those people that are working towards that end are definitely, in order to do that, you would need to be improving, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do think people are becoming more and more dependent on the technology, and so maybe over time we are losing certain skills, like the ability to navigate our world without a smartphone.
To drive to someone's new house.
Yeah.
New job.
Yeah. New job. Like, I don't know what I would do without my Waze app. How do I know if there's traffic?
So I think we regress as a whole. And again, pessimistic view a little bit.
Okay.
One thing that's been on my mind is even the medical field. There's a lot of surgeries that can't be done. Colton, I think you've mentioned this before, where there's just some surgeries that we can't do.
Yeah, because you need like scopes. I worked for a guy who was also a surgeon, and he said there's surgeries where he has to have a scope like in that person,
sure,
so that he can do his shenanigans, or technology to tell him like you're about to you're chopping somebody's artery and now they're bleeding out or something. And which is why like the hospitals have backup generators upon backup generators, but still, like, that's crazy.
And I do think of, like, speaking of medical field, there are there's instances where we need it. Overall, I think that's technology has helped our knowledge in the medical field, also in the military.
Sure,
we're capable to do more.
Yeah,
we know that, hey, if you have a headache, don't stab your head to make the blood flow out. That's not a good idea.
Yeah,
we're able to learn those things. Cocaine and coke is not a good medicine for you to get better. There are those things that we've kind of advanced with, but I think as a whole of the person behind what they're doing has definitely regressed. You've had kind of that instance where you're talking to someone but you're not really there. You're on your phone. You have people kind of losing that empathy that and I don't think technology alone is why we kind of lose compassion, or a lot of people say we're desensitized because of technology. Okay. That's actually one point where I disagree. If you've ever heard of the Colosseum, Roman Empire, the gallows, people getting death and the lack of empathy, desensitization has always been there. I don't think a video game will cause a murder. I think human nature will. Right. So that part I don't agree with technology making us worse, but I do think it makes us worse in communication, in care, in our ability to navigate the world, in innovation. A lot of people are less innovative because of technology. How many people sit on their butts and just watch Netflix all day or watch YouTube all day? I've been guilty of this, where when I was struggling to find a job, I spent more time looking at YouTube videos than I did looking for a job. And I was guilty of that because I was down and I was depressed, and then I'd look at the video for that dopamine effect. Yeah. And then it would wear off and I'd sink lower. It just kind of spiraled down. And then you get upset that you can't find a job, so you look at more. So just technology kind of accelerates that part. I think it also hides our true emotion towards things. It makes things like depression advertisement that certain company use to sell product. It takes real life issues that we deal with and makes them just kind of worth nothing. I mean, how many Christians are hurt by a lot of those mega churches that just preach prosperity gospel?
A lot. Yeah.
And technology drives that.
Yeah.
Like how many things are regressed because of money in that.
Right.
And I just see just overall intellect that people have. I mean, you look back, let's say 500 years, a farmer, your everyday farmer, was probably more fit than our everyday person. I mean, granted, their life expectancy might not have been as long, but their thrive for survival, their thrive to move on,
Sure.
to kind of keep going forward. Everyone had to be a part of that. You couldn't be a slouch unless you were rich and had the money to afford it. Now you can be broke and not do anything.
That's true.
There's plenty of poor people, and I'm not talking homeless. I'm talking people with houses that are living off of other people's income.
Would you say technology has sort of pushed for extremes? Like, so with technology, you have on one end people who are extremely dependent and have certainly regressed over time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like going back to sending people colonizing Mars or self-driving cars or bullet trains.
Yeah.
Like, you have people who are on the cutting edge of this science and engineering and technology, and like that's just amazing to me. So you do have people who are thinking this stuff up, and those people are certainly smart people who are improving. And
I mean, I do see that.
yeah,
Like, imagine what Michelangelo could have done with technology that we have now, art-wise.
Yeah.
Like, where he could have gone.
yeah,
Like, just imagine different things like that could have been done with the technology we have. And we also, there are things that we look at now and we think we're superior because of our technology. We look at the pyramids.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case at all.
And
Right.
we look at the pyramids and we're like, there's no way. But we don't know that.
Yeah,
We don't know the brains and the ideas behind the people who built them. They could have been way better at engineering than we can think.
I for the record, I do think smart people existed in the past.
Yeah.
You know,
But there's just a lot of people who think they didn't have technology, therefore they're dumb.
yeah.
And I don't
No, I don't think that's the case at all.
see
Maybe-
that as,
Maybe, like, I think of Egypt, for example, and how that's a good example, how they built the pyramids and just their ancient engineering. Like, there were some serious smart people who had to think that up. Or Rome, you know, like thousands of years ago, and they had cities with running water. Like, that's just amazing, you know. But maybe the same thing existed. Maybe there were smart people in Rome, and there were people who were just dependent on the system, and
or their family to take care of them and do
Yeah.
everything like that.
and maybe that's just the same throughout history. Is you have the extremes. You have people who think up the technology, and then you have people who use it.
And that's something great that technology's done, is it's taken those creative minds and it's accelerated it. Like, you have Elon Musk with Tesla.
yeah,
Heck, you have Tesla himself.
yeah,
You know, you have people who have just done crazy things. I mean, he's created a flamethrower out of boredom. The dude took a car to space just because he could.
yeah.
He just could. He didn't
Yeah.
have to. Like, the engineering and the design behind that, nuts.
Yes.
And with technology, I think it was like Akon or someone like that helped light a bunch of Africa with his like, you have great things happening like that where they just, you can do things.
Are you sure it wasn't Soulja Boy?
No,
That's a Soulja Boy joke. I'm sorry.
no, it's all good.
He thinks he does everything.
Yeah, he's the greatest. So isn't
Technology.
I thought Kanye is the greatest.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Kanye West with his Kanye vest doing his Kanye best.
He's the greatest rapper of all time. I don't know.
That's a really
Technology-
old meme.
That is. It's like early high school.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But that's it. That's the point. Is it technology itself keeps going.
I love it and I hate it.
Yeah. Sometimes you love to hate it. Sometimes
Yeah.
you hate to love it. But
Will Scott get off of social media? Time will tell.
I know this podcast won't. because we need YouTube.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
the connection.
For sure. Like there are good things from technology, but I don't know. We need your help in responding to this question. Does the good outweigh the bad, or does the bad outweigh the good? What can people do to answer this question? Can they like comment below or send us their responses in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, or even kind of a two-part thing that they can do is what is, I guess, two questions.
Okay.
What is something great that technology has done for you? Just quick sentence. What is something that you've enjoyed? And then on the other side, what is something that could be better or that technology kind of just ruined? And you could take either of those two for that second part, you can take either of those two, and you don't have to answer both for the second part. But
Yeah.
I think that would be just great for us to see where people are at as well. Just what has improved and kind of fallen apart.
So one thing I look forward to every time we do this podcast, and we haven't done a ton of them yet, but we've done it enough to where I look forward to it, is your
My random
off-the-wall
yeah.
questions that don't even matter.
I
but
write a
they're
lot,
just fun.
so I came up with a lot of these. This one, today's, is actually very special. Not to me.
Near and dear to your heart.
Not even to my heart. It's
Okay.
just it's special to the computer I wrote it on.
Okay.
So with technology, we kind of brushed on making a living.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is kind of give us an ultimatum of, and again, the best part of these questions is they're usually both awful.
Right.
Except for the boxers and brief ones, that was pretty enjoyable. But with this, would you rather earn your living as being a clown or a birthday party magician?
Oh, that sucks.
So either way, you're going to be hated.
Easy.
But like, would you rather just be the loser
Birthday party
as birthday party,
magician.
or just an awful, terrible person as so birthday party for you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because like just to see the I'm trying to spin this in a positive direction. Just the joy that you would see
There's no
in young
joy.
children's eyes.
You're just. We talked about
birthday
lives.
party birthday party magician. I mean, you could make a stinking
Sorry.
dove. Yeah, I don't know. Birthday party magician for me. Yeah.
I guess I would
You know?
have to take. I mean, the only thing I can think that clowns do is juggling, and I know that's terrible because that's a very poor representation of clowns.
You just-
But like, I can see like a magician. Like, all I can think of is Michael Scott when he does the magician things.
The little
Yes.
dove. Where he
Yeah, the
pops it
dove.
out.
I can just imagine doing that all the time, and that becoming
That'd be awesome.
my thing. Just
Yeah.
dove. So I'd probably pick magician.
I would agree. Magician, I think we're all... And my reasoning behind it is I see a magician as someone mentally is like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do this. And a clown is someone who already gave up. They're done.
Ouch.
They're
That's
done.
rough.
No offense to all of the
And
career
I've got
clowns.
some friends who are in clown troupes.
Really?
Yeah.
See, the biggest insult I've heard is, who is this clown? That's the biggest insult. Because
Wow.
not only are you calling
You're
someone a
right.
clown, but you don't even know them.
You're offending all the clowns.
Clowns are literally used as an insult.
And these days, like, people are afraid of clowns. Big
I'm
time.
terrified of clowns. I've gone to McDonald's with a friend and freaking someone dressed up as Ronald showed up. I just immediately left, or I should say I wanted to leave, but he made me take a picture of him with a clown. Just
No.
oh man.
Just straight up no.
Well,
Here's the last question.
you got one more.
What is more evil? Technology or clowns?
Clowns with technology.
Oh, that's the worst.
A cyber clown.
Yeah, that would be terrible. A cyber clown. Terrible.
A clown podcast.
Let's do this again sometime, David. What do you say?
Yeah, I call it good.
All right.
Well, it's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Cue outro music.